back. This is us, and this is Movies with an Aspie. And this film is Miss Sloane, Jessica Chastain. Brilliant, brilliant movie. She's a Washington lobbyist, high-powered Washington lobbyist, ruthless. Oh, so good at her job. She is she has like her own team, but she is part of a very big uh, lobbying group, and they have brought her in to be a part of what they do because she's so good at what she does. So she's under their umbrella, and she has her whole separate team. She works with mostly young kids. So, oh, she's ruthless. And this big company has been after the NRA. Yep, that NRA. And they finally get the call from the NRA, but they want her. So we've got this meeting set up with two of the head honchos for the parent company, with the head of the NRA and her, Miss Sloane. So he's pitching this idea of what they want her to do, and the idea is they're going after, well, he says, when you think female, think of woman, wife, mother, you think of someone who's lost a child or who's lost a husband that's going to be, devastated, but they want to go after the female demographic because he's got some warped idea about something, and you'll have to watch the movie to find out. And he's doing this pitch, and she kind of recaps it and then laughs in his face. Literally laughs in his face. Are you serious? And she starts running down who the NRA is, like he doesn't know, and she walks out of the meeting. Well, the head guy is not too thrilled about that. They have been after the NRA, they want the NRA, so you do what you got to do to get them. So she leaves the company because she's not going to do that. But this whole thing is orchestrated. We find this out later. She has put together this plan to leave this parent company in this big blow up of a mess, but leaves someone there as a mole. And they do it so convincingly. You don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. So she takes her group to this little lobbying group that's for gun control, gun regulation. And what we see, what the movie is about, is her pretty much dealing with the NRA. They're trying to get gun control. The little lobbying group that she has gone to, she was actually approached by the head of this group to come join them because he heard that she had left her group. And so she takes him up and she goes. So now the head of the NRA is pissed because she wouldn't work with him, but also because she laughed in his face. So he wants to destroy her, quite literally. And so he uses the firm she left. The firm she left pitches to the NRA, we are positioned perfectly to help you do this because we know her. So they think. We know her and we can take her down. They do not know she has left a mole in their group. So, back and forth. There's this one scene where she's ruthless. This woman is ruthless. She has these guys that I guess she only knows about. She's the only one that goes to them. These guys have some serious high-tech equipment. I mean, they are ridiculous. This stuff everybody knows about. They have cars that are bugged and the pins. The head of the little boutique lobbying group that she went to follows her one day, and she's there talking to these guys because she wants to use this to get some information. And he follows her there, and they're showing him what they have, and they show him they have these, they have attached some kind of chip to roaches. And you know roaches can get in anywhere. And they can control these things, let them loose, and they record, they do video. I mean, it's high tech. I mean, it's just ridiculously high tech. But he shuts it all down. He says, you will not do it, because we have ethics. You will not use this. So he leaves, and we think it's done. She's not going to use it. Wait for the ending. So now where are we? They're trying, the big group that she left, they are trying to bring her down. And they're like, we must have something. There must be something that we can use. We saw at the very beginning some secretary of something went to some country. They wrote the whole thing off on the taxpayers because it was educational or part of their company. It was business. That's how it happened. But there is this form that you sign to authorize that. And I think it has to go through committee or something to be official. She signed it. She signed the form. Part of the plan. So, now, her mole, she's got a mole at that company, and they are trying to bring this woman down. And Jessica Chastain's character, Miss Sloane, she's ruthless. And she exposed, someone on her team had told her something in confidence. And she did a debate with somebody from her old firm. And they're winding each other up. And on television, she used the information she knew about this person on her team. She had been the lone survivor of a shooting at a school. The lone survivor. And she came back under the radar. Nobody knew this. I think the owner of the company she worked for knew it, the lobbying firm. A whole big mess because the girl did not know that she was going to do this. So it kind of put a target on her back because Miss Sloane is using her to do a lot of speaking engagements and whatever. Some nut job decides he's going to take her out because everybody knows who she is. She's the survivor of this huge school shooting. And now she's working to get guns regulated, gun control. So this crazy person comes to take care of her. But miraculously, she had bumped into somebody before she left the building she was going out of. And I think she had dropped a pen or something, a writing pen. Anyway, I guess he's coming out to return the pen when he sees the guy with the gun ready to shoot her, execute her. He has a gun, a registered gun, legally has a gun, and he shoots this guy. Well, now it's a whole big mess, but it's a kind of points for the NRA because here was this guy that had a gun that saved her life. But here's the thing. Again, there's movie reality going on here. This guy legally had a gun. And the people that are lobbying are not against that. If there is gun control, if you can do all the registration, they want 30 days, 60 days before you can get it. They just don't want people to be able to walk into the store. I want that gun, give me those bullets. That's really what it's all about. But they took this opportunity to say, here are these people fighting against us, but look at this guy. This guy's a hero. He saved her life. He legally had a gun. People, he legally had a gun. If there were gun control, he would have still had his gun. That's all they're saying. But it gets played up like he's the great savior, and the anti-gun lobbyists are trying to take away people's rights to get guns. Movie reality. So no, it just gets, he had a gun, he killed the guy, yada yada yada. So now they're not doing so good because she was actually building a huge, huge financial war chest and getting people seeing her side of it. And she was about to take the NRA down. Then that happened. So now it's a mess. And they literally have nothing. So they think. The movie is titled Miss Sloane. So the other firm that she left, they are desperate now. But. Jessica Chastain, Miss Sloane, realizes the jig is up. She makes a phone call to her person. But the phone call is kind of coded, so we don't really know what's going on. And the scene was really strange when I watched it, because she's like really upset, and she slides all these papers off of the desk, and I didn't get that. I'm like, well, why is she? She's upset because she's got to put her plan into play, and it's going to take her down. But it is going to take the NRA down. But this is her Hail Mary that is going to take her out. It's her only play. So she makes the phone call. It's coded. Person she had left there. They're in a meeting with them. We've got to get Sloane out. There must be something. Da 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 da. And her mole, now that she's gotten the phone call, she goes back to this piece of paper that Jessica Chastain's character had signed, saying that this whole trip that these people took, we paid for it. We paid for it. So it wasn't, and that's illegal. So she goes, she's rummaging through, she finds the paper, she walks into the office, she says, we've got her. And so, congressional hearing, because they're thinking the jig is up, we got you, you've signed this piece of paper. She also has been seeing a male escort, but not just somebody that's escorting her to events. She had a favorite guy, and when the movie started, something happened and he wasn't available, and this other guy shows up. She wasn't really thrilled about it, but she went along, and he has no idea who she is, and she's not saying who she is. But the congressional hearings have happened, so now he knows who she is, and they find out that she's been seeing this guy. So he gets brought in. They're trying to take her down, and her lawyer has told her, an advisement of my lawyer, I plead the fifth. She's not saying, he says, do not say anything. And she gets fed up. The guy heading it is just working on her, and she starts talking. And now it's open season on her. As long as she said nothing, we're kind of okay. But she opened her mouth, and so now they're going to take her down now. And her lawyer is pissed. He's like, I told you what to do. And you didn't. He never liked her anyway. He didn't like who she was and what she stood for. So he throws up his hands. It's like, okay, your goose is cooked. They call in the guy she's been seeing, the male escort. He was starting to like her, ever so slowly. We're not sure what he's going to do here, though. He comes in and he sits down, and the guy who's heading it is saying, we've got her going into the hotel, we have you going into the hotel, we've got staff that say you were in the same room, which still isn't conclusive. It's a whole lot of stuff, but and it's very cool. And he perjures himself. He says, no, I never had relations with her. I've seen her, I've met her a couple of times, but no. And this was kind of their ace in the hole here. That was gonna take her down, but he perjures himself because he loves her. So all they have is this little paper that she signed, and so that's what they got to work with. So she's going to jail just for signing the paper. She's going to jail. So we're at the sentencing, and she's asked if she has anything to say. And she's just sitting. And so her lawyer stands up and says, no, Your Honor. Well, it's not a judge. No, my client has nothing. And she says, yes, I have something to say. Kind of takes everybody aback, but she goes to the microphone and she sits down. And she proceeds to talk about how Washington is a cesspool of degenerates and lowlifes and people who don't stand for anything other than themselves. And then we get the line. As a lobbyist, when I took this other job, I knew they would come after me. You must always have contingency plans. But you must have a surprise that you can play after they have sprung their surprise. So, she had her guys, the guys that she only talked to with the surveillance with the roaches, they had caught on video with audio the head of the old company talking to the congressman who is now heading this congressional hearing. And he, the guy, the company, head of the company, they handpicked this congressman because he had debt, he was vulnerable, and they said, we're going to pay you a lot of money to open these hearings to take her down. It is on video with audio. And she's sitting there, and with that setup, she says, please go. She says it differently, but it's like Google, and she gives them the URL. So everybody in the courtroom, because everybody's got their laptop, because this is a big deal. Everybody's got their laptop, they're on phones, they're punching in the URL, and it's the video of the guy talking to the congressman about opening the congressional hearings, about getting paid for it, very well for it, and why? Because you're a piece of crap and you don't have money to fund your campaign, and we want to keep you in because you're a piece of crap. So, absolutely brilliant moment. Absolutely brilliant moment. This is an ending to a film that is absolutely priceless. I rewatched this entire movie, even knowing that this ending is coming, and it still hits me like a ton of bricks. I know what's coming. It's unbelievable. She goes to prison. But she took them down. It is, oh my God, it's such a wonderful moment. It's such a wonderful moment. To watch a film that is so well crafted, so mapped out, to get this ending that so justifies what you've sat through, everything you've sat through, right here in this moment. And then to realize how far back, in fact, the entire movie was her plan. The entire film, her plan was in play. Not the absolute very beginning. Not when she was at the other firm and she was talking to the NRA. No. When she left. From the moment she left, this plan that she now is talking about, that we are hearing about for the first time, this plan has been in effect. It has been operating since she left the first company. Pretty much the entire film. Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh, this movie is brilliant. Brilliant. Miss Sloane, Jessica Chastain, Mark Strong, John Lithgow, and Jake Lacy is the male escort. 2015? No, 2016. Miss Sloane. Check it out. It is an absolute, oh my God, such a well-crafted film. Amazing. Info on the director and the stars below. Subscribe, like, do both, do one or the other. Truly appreciate it. Till next time, guys, thanks.